Hello everybody, it's Cameron Lyons. Welcome to my first ever Project Life process video. So in this video, it's going to be the first week of 2018. So let's get started. Right now I'm putting all my photos, my 4x6 photos into their pockets. And usually for the rest of the week, or the rest of the year, I'm thinking that I'm going to be using that top left-hand 4x6 as a title card. But this week I had four by sixes that I wanted to include, and I also wanted to use my mega date stamp. So that's why I decided to put that picture of me and the new camera up in the corner there. So this card I'm working on, if you watched Amy Gretchen's first week 2018 process video, it's going to be very similar. And I'm sorry, Amy Gretchen, but I promise that I did think of this idea before I watched your video. I have it in my notebook. I can show you if you want, but I had the idea on my own, but it's just, I guess, great minds think alike. So I'm going to pull over the Make a Date stamp. It's my first time ever using it. It's huge. It's quite an effort to ink up and stamp out, but I love how it looks. It's amazing, and if you don't have one of these, I think every scrapbooker, project lifer should have one because it's just so amazing. And it's just so big. Um, so you probably, if you have this, you know that it's a little bit tricky to turn the dials. So I just pulled my sweater over my hand so that I didn't totally cut my fingers off. Um, so I stamped the number one a little bit low, uh, but it's not a problem because as you'll see in a second, when I go to stamp the number three, something doesn't really work out, so I have to make a new card. So as I'm inking it up, I go to stamp it, and when I lift it up, whoops, it's upside down. So that's a little bit of a mistake. So I just turn everything back to one and grab some new paper so I can try again. So I found I was expecting the numbers to actually be a lot harder to turn when I was doing them, but the numbers turn pretty easily. It's just the month and especially the year is really hard to turn, but I mean, you only have to change it once a month or once a year, so it's not too big of a deal. The numbers are pretty good. So you can see that I stamped January 1 to 6, but the week is obviously January 1 to 7. I didn't start high enough or I didn't squish them together enough, so it ended up that they are not all the days are on there, but that's fine. It still turned out the way I like it, and I wasn't in the mood to redo it again, so I'm just gonna go ahead and slide it into the pocket, and I'll come back to it later on, and you'll see what I do there. So that card is done for the moment, and I'm gonna move on to something else. So you'll see me tap that right side 3x4, and that's because I know I want to include a journaling card about the photo on the bottom right. So that is my new project for this year is called the 6 of 6 project. And Amy Gretchen obviously inspired me to do this. She does the 12 of 12 project, where every month on the 12th of the month, she takes pictures all day and then selects 12 of them. So I thought there's no way that I'm going to be able to take 12 pictures in a single day because my life isn't that exciting. So I decided to make it a little smaller to the 6 of 6 project. So I'll take pictures and then choose 6 and then journal about them. So I know that I want to type out a card for that and include it there. So here I'm looking through all my Ali Edwards story stamps. I've been a subscriber for quite a few months. So I pick out this one. It's the newest kit. It's called the Love Story Kit, and it's one of my most favorite ones. I love the stamps especially. So I pull off this one that says "Big Love for This," and I'm gonna stamp it in that little empty white space there on the photo of me and my new camera because it's new and I love it, and I'm very thankful for everyone that donated to make that dream come true. So there's a shout out for you guys there. So that's all I'm going to do for that card and slide it into the pocket. Then I'm going to go ahead and print off, I think, the 6 of 6. No, I'm not. I'm going to work on. Yeah, there we go. I printed it off, the 6 of 6. And so I definitely could have typed out all the journaling, but I wanted to have a little bit of my handwriting on this spread, so I just made the title 6 of 6, and then I'll cut it to a 3 by 4 and stamp the numbers 1 through 6, and then journal about each of the photos with my own handwriting. So I've noticed my cardstock, I don't know if it's old or I don't know what's wrong with it, but it's a little bit more off whitish and yellowish than other white papers that I have. So it was a little bit annoying, but I'm almost done the package, so I'll get some new paper soon and hopefully it will be more white. I'm not sure why exactly it's not quite white, but since the mega date stamp card is the same cardstock, it doesn't look too bad. So I was looking at some stamps because I want to add something underneath that 6 of 6. I purposefully uh, left a little bit of space to use it, and so you'll see what I do later. So for the numbers, I'm going to use this stamp set is from Ali Edwards' Week in the Life kit, and I got the kit during the Black Friday sale. So I didn't actually participate in Week in the Life, but I got the kit because it was on sale and all the products are really beautiful. So especially this stamp set, it gets a lot of use in my um, everyday scrapbooking life. So I just stamped 1 to 6, and then you can see I left a little bit of space underneath the actual 6 of 6 to put something, I don't know what yet. Uh, so I'm going to grab over some phrase stickers from Ali Edwards. And I grabbed these pink ones because I think they look really nice with the pink from the top right hand corner of those two planners. So I grab one that says, "Here we go again," and I'm going to put that on the date card because, wait, first I grab over one that says "one day at a time." Sorry, and I'm going to test it out under the 6 of 6 there because it's about one day, so I think it's a good sentiment. And now I grab one that says "Here we go again" because I think it's funny because it's a new year and here we go again. So put that onto the stamp, and that card is now officially complete for a while. So I'm looking at that phrase sticker underneath the 6 of 6, and I think it just looks a little bit too bulky. So I pull it off and stick it on the actual photos, and I think that looks really nice with the little embellishment between the photos. So now for this card, I think it looks a little bit too white, too like it's standing alone. So I decided to do an outline around it with my pen to kind of give it a little bit of a border so that it's more grounded type thing, I guess. And I really like how that turns out because it's less just floating around there. So, and also distinguishes it a little bit from the date stamp, which doesn't have a border. So then I am having a lot of trouble with this card here that I'm working on now. So I go back and forth a lot, and I cut a lot of the footage out. So I'll just give you a little spoiler that the card right there with the mountains is the one that it's going to stay. So essentially about 30 minutes, I think, of indecision. I just will tell you now that's what's going to happen. So so I figured out that I want to put a stamp underneath that 6 of 6 thing. So I pull over some Stampin' Up! Ink that's the same kind of pinkish color and stamp it underneath there. And I really like how that adds just a little bit of subtle color so it's not plain black and white. So that card is now done. And I think I'm going to move on to that planner card next. Um, so I'm going to pull it out. No, I'm going to stick this one on first, actually, sorry, and then slip it in. And next, I'm going to pull out the planner card and do some journaling because the one on the left is my planner from 2017, and the one on the right is my new planner for 2018. So I decided to just journal about how much I love the old one and how I'm excited to use the new one for all my homework. So I used my Sharpie pen to just go around the outside of it, and I left a little space on the bottom left for a date stamp that's going to just go there and add a little bit of more detail. So now that card is done, it's going to go into its pocket. And there goes the journaling. And now I'm going to fiddle around with that card for a very long time. So this card that I end up using it's from the Studio Calico Summit Documenter Kit, and it has mountain patterns and skiers or something, I think. And it's really cute, so I love how that looks. And then I decided that the pink label stickers are kind of too pale. I feel like they're washing the spread out a little bit. So I pull over the same phrases, but they're navy blue, and I think that pops a lot more with the blue from that the Summit Documenter card and the blue in the 6 of 6 photos. So I'm glad I made that change to kind of tie in some more colors and make the spread a little more bold and defined. So that's why I make that change. Next, I'm going to work on that bottom left photo. From the same stamp set, the love one, I'm going to grab over one that says, love this imperfect experience. And the reason why I chose that one is because if you can see, the cookies on the left are pretty badly burnt. So we had a little bit of an adventure trying to figure out the right shape, the right amount of time they go in the oven, the right oven setting even. So it was an adventure, but it was still lots of fun. So that's why I chose that stamp. Works perfectly. And now I just have to finish off that card with the little note on it. So I pull over the stickers again and I grab a small one that says love. And I think that looks really cute. So I'm decided to stick with it after all my indecision. So I'll just tape it down and add the sticker. Make sure it's straight. And then I'm going to add a staple in the top corner. And then that one is all done. So slide into the pocket and my spread is done. So thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, leave a like and a comment.